Hi students, so in this video I will be talking about a topic called map function, and these are the related topics. I will start with what is map, then syntax, I will show you some examples, then I will discuss about how we can use lambda expression within map. I have already talked about lambda expression in my previous video. So let's start with what is map. Okay, so before straight diving into the topics, let me make it very clear that all the notes, all the codes I will be showing you, all will be available on my GitHub channel. I will provide you the links in my description. So just focus on understanding the concepts. Okay. So what is map function? Map function is a way. This is a inbuilt function within Python. So it is a way to perform some operation on each element of an iterable. We have talked about iterables, so we have list, we have string, set, dictionary, all are iterables. And if we want to perform some operation on each element of the iterable, then this is the problem, and map function actually comes as a solution. I have already talked about this problem when I discussed about comprehension. So comprehension was another solution. It had some drawbacks, and map function is another solution. So, uh, this is what map function is, and then let's talk about basic syntax of map function. So this is the syntax actually. So this map function actually takes two arguments. First one is the function that we want to perform on each element, and second one is the iterable that contains all the elements. Okay. So internally how it works is it traverses through all the elements of this iterable and then perform this function on each element of this iterable and returns a map object. So this map object is actually an iterator, so we can iterate over it, but most of the time we just convert this map object into a sequence object. We have already talked about sequence objects, like list is a sequence object, then set is a sequence object. So we just use those sequence objects factory function. So factory functions like if we talk about list sequence object, so list is a sequence, list is the factory function for. So if I just want to convert this map object into a list, so we just use list function. Okay, so this is the basic syntax. Now let's talk about examples. So for example, I have when I talked about comprehension, I have already taken this example, but let me take the same example so that you will be able to distinguish between these two, and this will help you to understand the concepts more easily. So the example was, I have a string and I want to extract each letter of that string and I want to put all those letters in a list. Okay, so this is my string equal to play with Python, and I want to extract all these letters inside a list, and my result list will look like this actually. So first one will be P, then L, then A, and so on. Okay, now to use map function, as I said, I have to first define this function. So in this case, let me add some more to it. I want to extract only vowels. Okay, so I have to add a condition also. So I'll just check if the letter is a vowel, then only I will consider that letter. So first let me define the function. Def extract. So this function will take a letter, and what it will check, so it will just check if letter in A, E, I, O, U, these are the list of vowels, and if it is true, then only return letter. Okay, that's all. So this is this function. I have defined this function here. Now my result equal to, so what I want to do, I just want to map. First one is extract, this is the function. Second is the iterable, so here my string. Okay, so as I say, this returns actually an object. Okay, so actually let me do like this, my result object. Now if I want to generate a list, so I have to do like this, my result, let's say my result list equal to same, just list. Okay, and let me do this again and make this set. Okay, now let me show you the output first. Python, oh sorry, I have not printed. So print my result list. Second one is set and third one is obj. That's all. So now if I Python then video 14 dot py. See, let me expand this first. So this is the output. So first one is the list, then the set, and then the object. So let me explain this first thoroughly. So first one is so this my result object, as I said, this is a map object, okay, or an iterator. So this is the address where it is stored. Next, I am converting this map object into a sequence object. So first we are converting map object into a list. So this is the list. So what it does internally, it just extracts each letter and puts that letter at the end of the empty list, okay, and it keeps on putting all the letters, and just inside that function it is checking if the letter is in list of vowels, then it is considering that letter, and if the letter is not a vowel, then it is returning none object. Okay, so this is none, this is actually in Python, this is an object. Okay, this is this is done implicitly. We can use else here, but Python takes care of it. And if we just talk about the set, so you know that set discards all the duplicate elements, so none and all the vowels. So this is how map function works. Okay, now so this we can put multiple iterables here. Okay, if we are dealing with, let's say, 2 or 3 iterables, we'll just have to append all the iterables, keep on adding here. Okay, I'll show you an example. But before that, as I say, so actually this extract function has been used only once. Throughout the program, this extract function, has no separate use. Instead of using in this map function, it has no separate use. Okay, so or this has been used only once. So I have talked about this in my previous videos that if we are in such situation where we are dealing with a function that is used only once or twice, and we just need this function to perform some higher order function, then we should use lambda expression or anonymous function. So let me show you that also, how we can use lambda expression here. So the same example first. Okay, now what I want to do is I just want to replace all this function with lambda expression. Okay, now okay, so before that, this is the basic syntax of lambda expression with condition. I have talked about this, but I have not added the condition part. So when we deal with conditional statements, so we have to, first one is the expression, and then if, this expression is true, only if the condition is satisfied. Else, this expression, if the condition is false, then this expression will be returned or will be considered. Okay, so this is the syntax, and let me show you the example. So what I want to do here is I want to extract each letter. So first lambda, then letter. So this is the argument, and then what I want to do? I want to just letter. So this is the expression. Then if letter in A, E, I, O, U, this is the condition, and else if the letter is not in the list of vowels, so we'll just consider none object. So this is an object in Python. So that's all. So this is the lambda expression. This will do the same thing as I have done here. Let me show you output. So the same one, just okay. So see, first 3 outputs are from this one, and second 3 are from this one. So it is actually doing the same thing. Okay, so this is how we can use lambda expression inside of map function. So in the next video, when I will explain filter, reduce, there we also will be using this lambda expression. So lambda, this is the use of lambda expression. We use lambda expression inside of this higher order function. So these map, filter, reduce, all are higher order functions. So our aim is something higher level, at higher level, and we are using a lower level function to achieve that higher level operation. Okay, so this is the use of map. Okay, so yeah, that's all about map function. Now the last thing, as I have talked about, that we can use multiple iterables here. Okay, this is no restriction that we have to use only single iterable. So let me take another example. So let's say I have two lists. Okay, my numbers 1, and this one is, let's say, 1, 2, 3, and second one is my numbers 2, and this is 4, 5, 6. So what I want to do is I want to generate a new list, which will contain 1 to the power 4, 2 to the power 5, 3 to the power 6, and so on. So this is how, so it will just consider at a time one element from each iterable, and it will perform that operation, and it will put the result in a new list. So my new list will be like my result final equal to, so I will use lambda expression here. List, this is the factory function, and then the map function. First one is the method, so lambda. So what we are doing, we are just dealing with two elements at a time. So first, then second. So these are the arguments, and next is the expression. So what is the expression? First to the power second. Okay, so this is how I want to do it. So this is the function, and this is the first argument, and second argument is iterables. So my numbers 1, so this is the first iterable, and my numbers 2 is the second iterable. And if we have multiple iterables here, we will just keep on adding here. Okay, so this is how it works. So my result final, and if I just print my result final, and so let me just, if I just comment out this and the previous one also. Okay, now see, 1 to the power 4 is 1, 2 to the power 5 is 32, and 3 to the power 6 is 79. So yeah, this is how we can use map function, and yeah, that's all about our topics. I have discussed about what is map, basic syntax, examples, lambda expression, and map. Okay, so that's all for today. So stay tuned. Bye bye.